Such a fancy opening.
Fancy. We only strive for the best.
I mean, we're pretty classy guys when we do what we do. So I mean, yeah, it's gonna be pretty amazing. So what's up, dude? Guys, welcome. Sorry, I was adjusting some volumes. What's going on? It is Big Ace, and of course, this is the Brisco and Big Ace show. With me is the man, Wes Brisco. What's up, brother? It's been like 2 weeks. We did the show with your dad. Pop Brisco came on, and we had a lovely time, minus the internet issues. And then and it seemed that people really enjoyed that show.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to before we kick it off, I just want to give my prayers and thought outs to my buddy AJ out in South Africa. He's in the hospital right now, and just thoughts and prayers to his family and everyone over there, because he's a guy that really is helping put indie wrestling and pro wrestling back in South Africa and really striving to make it to what it should be. And to hear that he's in the hospital right now was kind of a upsetting day. And if we can just give our thoughts and prayers out to AJ, and let's just send some good vibes, and just keep his thoughts in our his prayers in our thoughts.
Yeah, definitely positive vibes going out to AJ. Great person. So that hopefully he can bounce back, recover better than ever, AJ. So
That's
again,
why I got the South Africa
yeah,
rugby shirt on, and then of course I got the Bucks hat to represent us going to the Super Bowl with Mr. Tom Brady.
So yeah, before we get back to talking about the show with your dad, I wanted to ask you about that too, because man, when you guys signed Brady, you were hitting me up, right? You're like, yo, we got Brady. And then like halfway through the season, you kind of gave up on him. And now
I never gave up on the Bucks.
But you were just like, I don't know if it's gonna happen.
But yeah, because to be honest with you, I didn't watch football at all this year. The only game I watched was one with my dad, and that's it. I really haven't paid attention to any sports or any football, so I've kind of just hearsay from what other people have been saying, and I don't really watch Sports Center or any of that stuff, so I don't really catch too much up on my sports. So I don't really know. But then once I saw the Bucks were doing really well, I started watching, and then I actually watched the game with my mom a little bit because my dad was at WWE doing something at the Performance Center, so he was actually out of town. And I know he was going crazy. He was probably on his phone the whole time, not even paying attention to whatever he had to do at WWE, because he's probably like, A, I'm retired.
Right.
B, the Bucks might go to the Super Bowl. And the craziest thing, I think this is the first time ever that a team's actually playing in their hometown in the Super Bowl.
Is it in Tampa this year?
Yes, it is.
Oh, shit. I didn't even know that.
How crazy is that the Super Bowl will be in Tampa Bay? And another crazy thing is, a lot of the guys don't know this, but we call them snowbirds here in Florida. A lot of people from up north that love the Patriots, and they're huge Patriot fans. So it's kind of funny to see them like kind of all wearing Buck stuff, and then you kind of question them, and they're like, well, I like both, but I like Brady, and I also like the Patriots. I'm like, you got to pick one. But It's just cool to see Tampa Bay finally back in the Super Bowl. And not only they're back in the Super Bowl, they're back in their home field in Raymond James Stadium, which should be insane. I wish COVID wasn't happening, because it'd be a lot easier for me to go, because I probably could get tickets. But since it's COVID, I believe it's only season ticket holders and certain people like that get the opportunity to get to go to the Super Bowl.
Dude, that's crazy. I didn't even realize, I didn't put two and two together that they're hosting it and they're in it. I remember Minneapolis a couple years ago hosted the Super Bowl, and that was the talk, because everybody here thinks every year the Vikings are going to be the best team ever.
Yeah, but imagine if the Vikings.
And if they would have, it would have been nuts. And it was a brand new stadium at the time, like all that. But that was what everybody was talking about. But that's crazy. I'm all about it. Tampa, go Tampa, man. Screw Kansas City. Sorry if anybody's watching.
I think it's going to be a hell of a game, and I'm actually looking. And the cool thing about it is you get to look in a way is how I'm looking at it. You're seeing one of the best quarterbacks of all time, arguably maybe playing his last year versus the brand new quarterback from the Chiefs, the young gun, already won a Super Bowl, kind of following in Brady's footsteps in a way. You know what I mean? He's kind of transitioning into going to be one of the world's greatest quarterbacks. And it's crazy to see the two go head to head. I'm kind of looking forward to see that mindset of those two great athletes and the age difference and how they handle it. Because you can't say the quarterback from the Chiefs is inexperienced because he's already won a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
so he has the experience. So to see these two great quarterbacks go head to head is going to be something that will go down in history, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Mahomes, Brady, that's two of the best going at it in the same game for the championship. That's pretty sick. Yeah, man, it'll be fun. Dude, I'm the same way. I dropped off of football like 3 months ago. I'm a Cowboys guy, even though I'm in Minnesota. I'm a Cowboys guy, have been my whole life. And it was pretty clear halfway through the season we weren't doing shit. After Dak went down, that was kind of just it. So I didn't even watch like the last 5 games because I couldn't handle it anymore. I was just like, it's so sad. So yeah, I haven't watched anything. I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl though. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Who's the halftime show this year?
It is, I think, Travis Scott.
Is it? I didn't think. No, isn't it the Weekend? Is it the Weekend?
Yeah,
it's the Weekend.
Oh, it's the Weekend.
Yeah, blind and light, whatever.
Yeah.
He has that messed up face that he did for that last video he just did where his face is like this big. That would be awesome. Yeah, so that's gonna be a fun and interesting game. But I wanted to ask you, because we started talking about your dad and the interview we did with him. What's that like for you? Have you guys ever had to do a show like that together? I mean, minus our Hall of Fame show, because that was kind of a special occasion and there was multiple people there. But like, was that the first time that you sat down and kind of had these kind of talks with him where it's being broadcasted?
Yes.
So how'd that make you feel?
It was cool to sit down and, because me and my dad really don't talk about wrestling at all, unless it's dealing with Red. If it's dealing with Red Velvet,
Nobody heard it, don't worry.
When it's dealing with her, sorry, I got sidetracked. When it's dealing with her, he watches and then we talk wrestling. But other than that, we don't really talk wrestling. And it was cool because we don't really talk wrestling, and to like catch up like that, it's different experience.
Yeah,
and I got sidetracked.
And I think there was a lot of people who really enjoyed the story of you punching numerous guys in the nuts when you were a kid.
Yeah, it happens.
I mean, I laugh because I feel like the boys back then were probably like, "Hey, if you go to Brisco's house, watch out. The little guy runs around."
No, see, the thing with the boys is they probably were like, "Hey, go see how good he can punch."
There you go.
The boys wanted to see each other get, pranked, so ribbed. So that'd be something that the boys wouldn't warn nobody about.
Right. Yeah. And there were some really good stories that came out of that. We had a lot of fun. If you guys haven't seen it, YouTube, guys, we have the Brisco and Big Ace show YouTube. There's a lot of cool stuff that's going to be going on there as well. If you haven't been checking it out, there's a really cool vlog that you and Red did. Your cooking video is up there. That's still one of my favorites. My vlog, or our vlog, from when I came down there for your ARW show about a year and a half ago now. Thank you, pandemic. But there's some cool things coming in the future. I know you're working on some cool videos. I got a Vegas trip that we're going to make a little video out of. And we may even be together sooner than later to do something.
Yeah. So we got a bunch of good stuff coming out on the YouTube. And then me and Red have been doing some cooking stuff, and we're just waiting to get a little bit bigger kitchen before we start doing a lot more. But we're going to start doing a lot more of cooking shows, and especially because she can cook desserts like no other, which is a bad thing for me because I'm probably going to get fat, but she can make some desserts. Literally, okay, we'll put it this way. She made a thing of brownies and she left town, and guess who ate all the brownies? I did. I
Nice.
ate all the brownies, and she like was like, "Really, Wes?" And I was like, "Well, they were good. It's not my fault."
I mean, you can't a good brownie if it's left around unattended, you can't help eat all that. I mean, it's delicious. So, I believe you 100%, but I'm still going to ask Red to prove it when I'm next to you guys the next time in person because
I'll prove it. You
I
better be careful because she can back up her bacon.
I fully intend her to back it up. I just need to get fatter, and that sounds wonderful. So. But yeah, man. So that was yeah, YouTube guys, check it out. We also have the Facebook, we have Instagram, we're on Twitter, all of it. Find it if you are not someone who wants to or can always watch our shows. VOC Nation, VOC Radio Nation have been very cool. We're glad to be a part of those guys. You can find our audio only versions exclusively on the VOC Nation with some other cool shows. Bill Apter, Shelly Martinez, Ken Resnick, just a whole bunch of great wrestling personalities and talents on the VOC Nation. So check that out as well.
I
So
was just gonna say that I'm very impressed with the VOC Nation's audio selection and the how would you say the members
the content, just
the
there's some
content that
great
they're
shows.
putting out is just incredible. And the cool thing about the VOC Nation is that they got a bunch of different types of content. It's not all the same. You get a big, huge variety of different content from us to just everyone's Shelly. There's a huge spectrum of podcasts out there, and they're blessed that we're a part of it, and it's cool to see them spreading out to where they're at now because we've been a part of them for a while. We've been
Yeah,
kind of
man. Just over a year now, I think.
yeah.
It's been cool, man. And again, they have different kinds of shows, but it all kind of comes back to wrestling. Because again, if you're a diehard Brisco and Big Ace fan, you know darn well we don't always just talk wrestling. In fact, wrestling kind of is the smaller portion of our shows usually, or just the actual talk of like
Our guests, because we do have a lot of you know pro wrestlers guests, but we like to get to know our guests. We kind of like to ask the questions that aren't normally asked. We like to like actually get to know our guests, like
right,
because everyone asks. I feel like in the podcast world, it's always the same questions. It's always who's your dream match? What would you like to wrestle? Who did you enjoy getting in the ring with? What is so and so like? You finally get to a point where it's just like it gets so repetitive where you could vouch for me. I get 100 requests to do podcasts and I just don't do it because it it loses its fun when you're just talking about the same thing over and
right,
over. And for me, you know how I am. I'm like, all right, I've done asked this question 100 times. You can
right,
easily look up my answer plenty of places. Like you're not getting any new fresh content, so why are you even bothering me?
right. Guys, a funny story, and we've kind of talked about how this is how we initially met, but the funny story of how we initially met and did the very first time you and I ever did any kind of show together was when you were a guest on a former show I was co-host on. Is it took a good day and a half to talk you into it, and again, it took settling on doing it in the pool, like in the hot tub, legit, till we had it. But I mean, you were not on board right away. We definitely had to kind of like talk to you, buddy you up and kind of be like, come on, man, just help us out. Like, we really want to. And then,
Well, here's the thing. I I always like to think of it's like you want to keep a mystique about yourself. You don't always want to throw yourself out there so much where it gets watered down where you're not special anymore. I mean, I'm not saying I'm special or anything like that, but at the time I was doing a lot of TV. I was on
yeah,
TNA a bunch, so I just wanted to keep mystique about myself because I didn't want to be the I wanted to pick and choose who I let interview me because I feel like that's my right. I have any right. I don't have to do anything. Like I don't none of these guys are paying me anything. So why do I have to waste my hour? Because I value my time very precious. Time's money. Time's,
Right.
like time you can never get back.
Yeah.
And 2 hours turns into time that I can never get back. I don't know what I could have done or what I might have achieved or accomplished during those 2 hours that I just lost, but who knows? I don't know. But I'm kind of, I pick and choose what podcast I like to do, but really I don't do any but ours unless it's a really good friend of mine.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, it was not lost on me back then when I agreed to do it and we did it. And it was like, hey, man, that was worth the begging because that was a
Well,
really good
I don't
show.
think you guys had to.
We didn't have to. And to be honest, by the way, anyway, we didn't beg. I think this was the same year that someone we know was on top of a table in a sombrero at the end of the night. So
Yeah.
it wasn't begging, but it was a lot of we were just hanging and having a good time that in a day and a half we were finally able to
It was like it was pretty much like, oh, if we don't hang out with him till 5 a.m, we might not get an interview.
This is true. This is
I think that night I got tattooed at like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m.
There's crazy things that happen in Waterloo, Iowa. Yeah, man. And look at us now. What, how many years later? And now we have a way better show than I had back then.
How long until the Waterloo Hall of Fame is coming up? I mean, I believe it has to be
the weekend of the July 15th. So
we're looking at.
We're about to hit February.
Oh, it's not too bad.
We're about 7 months. 7 months out. A lot of cool things happening down there, including a live anniversary show of the Brisco and Big Ace show with special guests. We say guests because we already have one confirmed, and we're going to work on another, maybe one.
Yeah.
Have some fun with that show. So, yeah, anyways, I wanted to also talk to you because something else you're always, I mean, like, dude, you are a fish. Like, I'd be like, you're a fish. You're always in water.
I am a Pisces.
I love it. And surf season, because again, I've been learning so much about the world of surfing because of you in the last 3 years that fascinates me. And I want to try the belly surfing. I'm going to action Bronson it up.
So did you see? I was going to ask you, did you see the Bronson of him getting barreled in the wave pool?
But I saw it and I was like, there we go. I can do that.
But here's the thing is Bronson has been putting in the work though.
Dude,
he's actually been going like every single day and actually like really learning how to do it. That wasn't just like a freak thing. Like Bronson's has been putting in the work, and it's crazy because he's lost weight, he's trimmed down, and he said it's because of the ocean. He wants to get better on the board, and that's like when you see someone like that, just like see the power of the ocean motivate you to become healthier and become a better person, because you got to think like he's a rich person, a rich rapper, and like for him to want to better himself, his health, and just like love the ocean, something like the ocean, to like change his mindset and to change the way he's living is kind of powerful, to show you how powerful Mother Nature is and the ocean is. That's why everybody should at least go out and put their feet in the ocean once or twice. Like it's something that's very valuable, I believe.
Dude, there's a very spiritual connection, I feel, when you're in the ocean and you're just taking it in, the water, the beauty. When I've been down there by you and we were at Cocoa Beach, my favorite, Hawaii, like every time I'm on those beaches, it's just magic. Miami, all of it. It's just, yeah, the ocean is dope for sure. And yes, dude, the guy has lost so much weight. He's putting in the work so hard with the dieting, the losing the weight, the surfing. And yeah, seeing that, man, it helps you get motivated. I'm somebody that's in that same position. I'm trying to lose some weight. I'm trying to get healthier. I'm finally starting to turn the corner on it. You know what I mean? I'm starting to finally eat better.
I mean, you were on a solid roll for a while. You were hitting the gym, and then all of a sudden the COVID kind of hit. The
pandemic was, I felt it and I felt great. And then the pandemic came. You know what I've been doing though? I've been doing DDP yoga lately.
Oh.
And that stuff is no joke. No joke. Kicking my butt. But you know what, dude? It's made me also realize how unbalanced I am and how unflexible I am.
And probably your breathing pattern.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my god.
That's like the biggest part of yoga is your breathing pattern, is learning how to like when I train. Well, I don't train people to work out, but if I like work out with one of my friends or someone or the wifey, I'm always constantly making sure breath movement, because a lot of people want to hold their breath while they're working out, and that's very bad. You want to be constantly breathing while you're doing those poses, and the more you breathe, the easier it allows your body to relax and to be able to do those poses. And that's a crazy thing, is allowing your mind and your breath just to kind of take over and allow your body just to relax and allow your mind to just control your body.
Yeah, dude, it's super crazy because you know this too. When I first met you, I was still a heavy cigarette smoker. Uh,
Yeah.
and it's only been this next September will be 2 years that I'm cigarette nicotine free, and that was something too. Like I realized, like, oh wow, man, that was really messing me up too. And you just when you're doing it, like when you're a smoker, like this isn't good for me. And but when you stop for that long and then really realize, like, oh, like things taste better, I smell things better, and like I just feel better. That's crazy.
Of
And then
course,
doing,
yeah. It's almost like you have that stickiness
yeah,
ripped right off of you.
it's nuts, dude. It's nuts. So yeah, so I started that. We'll see how this goes. I'm gonna keep at it. I'm gonna keep eating, and hopefully this summer I'll look a little bit better when I take a shirt off and not
Yeah.
just
So
puppy.
back as you're saying, yes, it is surf season right now. And I was able to go surfing and brought the GoPro with me. I was only able to surf for like 30 minutes. And then I had to drive 3 hours and go to work. But, I made sure I got to enjoy those 30 minutes that I was in the water. I only caught two waves out of that 30 minutes. And normally I was glad I caught two waves, because you can sit out in the ocean and only catch like three really good waves.
Right.
And like you might catch a couple, but they're not good waves. They might close out, and they might, because we're surfing beach breaks, where beach breaks, the sand is not always the same. So it shifts. So the wave doesn't break perfectly. Like a wave that breaks over a reef is always going to be perfect, because it has artificial bottom, which is not artificial because the reef is real, but it has a structure underneath that's solid that will never change unless a ship or something runs into it. So it's always going to create this perfect wave. The only thing that will change would be the swell direction, and that would kind of make the wave a little bit different, but not much. It'll always kind of be the exact going the exact same way, and will barrel in the exact same spot, or it'll open up and the exact. Usually, where it barrels, it's where it's really really shallow, and that will create the wave to pitch over. So it's little things like that. And Florida right now, we only get waves during hurricane season and, of course, wintertime. And right now, we're getting all the northeasterns, which is all those storms up north and up in Alaska and New York, and all those crazy snowstorms they're pushing down. And as that pushes down, that hits the warm water, and that starts creating these waves. And that's why during the wintertime, we get a lot of good waves, because they're long period. Long period means it takes a long time for the wave to actually get to where we're coming,
Hmm.
to Florida, which makes it stronger compared to like a short period where there's a ton of waves, but they're not very powerful. They're kind of weak because they just show up.
Right.
It's a hard thing to like. It's a lot of weather scientist stuff
Right.
right
Right.
there. But
Well, let me ask you this then. We mentioned Action Bronson and him, and he's got those videos online doing the belly surfing in those like indoor wave pools. Have you done something like that? Have you done an indoor wave pool for surfing? And if so, do those waves ride those man-made waves? Do they ride the same as just in the ocean, or can you tell as someone who does this regularly? Can you tell the difference while you're riding it?
see, I've only ridden. Sorry, the one in Coco. I mean, no, not in Coco. In what's it? Disney World? Yeah, Typhoon Lagoon. I think
Oh,
it's Disney World. I've only done that. I've done that one like 4 times, and that one feels like a real ocean wave. It's a little soft, but the wave pools that are in Texas, New Jersey, California, like Kelly Slater's one, the one that's in the BR Ski Ranch in Austin, Texas, those are like real deal, like waves, like
okay.
legit, like pretty. I haven't got the opportunity to be able to surf one of those waves, but those are like legit because it's like the money that I could spend to go surf one of those artificial waves, I could spend going to go surf like a real wave.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I want to really go surf in Texas or do I rather go to somewhere in South America?
Yeah. Right.
I'd rather go to South America.
Exactly.
Just the adventure and fun is like, with kind of like, is with surfing, I feel like that's like a big part of it. It's the adventure and fun and like praying that there's going to be good waves because a lot of times you go somewhere and you'll travel somewhere and you'll save all this money to like go surf this wave and you show up and it's flat and you're just like, oh my god, like, and but then you figure out other things to do. You always make the trip fun, but that's like the mystique of like surf trips is like, are we gonna score? The wave's gonna be perfect, or like, you never know. Like you get there and it's like going off the first half of the trip, then it gets flat, or it's flat right when you get there, and then like the last 4 days it's magical, and you're just like, oh my god, this is like best ever. Like it's Mother Nature is so hard to predict that's why I think surfing is such a like when you actually get on the wave and accomplish everything, you're just like, wow, it took a lot just to get there. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm going surfing today and the waves are perfect. It just doesn't happen that way.
Right. So that's what we'll have to do then. When I'm down there next, let's start maybe with the belly surfing. You can teach me how to do that.
Yeah, I think you could do a longboard easily.
You think so?
I got like a 710.
You think?
Oh yeah.
All right. I'm willing to try it.
Yeah.
For the YouTube, I'm willing to try it, just so even if it doesn't work out, at least people got good content that you can laugh at me for it.
Mm-hmm. I had my boy Buttons getting up on the wake surfer not too long ago.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, he never thought he'd be on the wake surfer, and he was out there shredding it.
Were you guys
out the Buttons?
Pulling him? Were you pulling him on the boat?
Yeah, pulling him behind the boat.
I'd like to try that too. I tried water skiing way back when I was in like high school. I couldn't even get up, dude. I just ate so much water and then just was like, I'm done. Tried 5.
Yeah, it's especially if you have a really awkward life jacket on and it's like drowning you as you have the life jacket on. It's like, it's not fun.
Dude, that's nuts. So a little bit of wrestling that we could jump into. Big event happening this Sunday, very big traditional event, and that is the Royal Rumble is going to happen. There's a lot of cool things happening on that show, man. I'm going to talk about some of it to get your opinion on the matches of that night and who you think's going to where we at here?
Win or lose?
Yeah, because
the battles.
Dude, it's so not cool, but the interesting thing, and I don't know why this is pulling up the 2020 stuff. That's not like,
how's it not cool?
Well, so the men's Rumble match this year is very super in the air. Like it's very hard to predict where they're going to go with it. There's a lot of different variables that may happen throughout that night to get to that. But so
like a game show? Is it? Are we watching a new episode of The Challenge, but WWE style?
Right.
The only reason why I watched The Challenge is because Lovebug loves it, and I like to help support her and watch the shows together.
There you go. Heck yeah. I haven't watched The Challenge since like the first Road Rules World original challenge they did.
I had no idea what this thing was even about.
Yeah, but I haven't watched like MTV programming in many years.
I watch a lot of it.
That's all right. Hey man, some of the stuff on like Jersey Shore is still funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, trust me, I'm all caught up with everything that's going on in Jersey Shore.
Oh,
I'm caught up with all Teen Mom stuff too, by the way.
Nice. Good for you, man.
Yeah. Very
people are like, wait a minute.
Really accomplished a lot.
People are watching this being like, wait, so you don't watch wrestling ever, but you watch Teen Mom? And
Jersey Shore vacation.
Right. I like it. So here we go. First match on Rumble is going to be the United States Championship. So Bobby Lashley is going against Matt Riddle, just Riddle. You know Riddle?
Yep. Bobby, I love Riddle, but I'm pretty sure they're going to have Lashley win.
Yeah, he's got the Hurt Business with MVP and Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander. It's a tough team. Yeah, I see them. I see them taking it. A match that has potential to be really great on that show. The IC Championship. It's going to be Big E versus Sami Zayn.
I'm going for Big E because
Yeah,
he's one of my homies, and that was Big E. When he first came to FCW, he was real quiet and no one like really like talked with him. And I was the first person that was like, "Hey man, what's up?" And he kind of lived close to me, and I was living at my parents' house at the time, and he kind of lived close to my parents' house. And he also amateur wrestled a
yeah.
school that I amateur wrestled against. He's a little bit younger than me, so I never competed. Plus, he was heavyweight, but we just became friends, and we used to ride to all the FCW house shows together,
Nice.
and we would take turns of driving and whatever. But we became real close because we spent a lot of time on the road together. And he's a great dude, so I'm going with Biggie all the way.
Hell yeah, dude! You could have been a New Day member. You realize that you're like friends with all of them. Yeah, I'm going Big E too, man. It's his time. He deserves a nice big singles push. He's a great talent. He was in Iowa a couple years ago. Got to meet him. He was awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
The women's tag champs, they got Asuka and Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. I don't know what they're
Um,
gonna do. The funny thing, Wes, about this match, just so you know, literally all four of these women have like different feuds going on outside of this match, which is why it's like
hard to predict.
I don't know what they're gonna do. Because Charlotte has a thing with another girl on the roster who is they're like implying she's with Ric Flair now. Like he's accompanying her to the ring. He cost Charlotte a match by pulling her foot. He's like got caught like showing her moves from behind, Ric Flair. Uh,
Yeah,
and then Asuka has stuff with Alexa Bliss, and then Nia and Shayna kind of have their own thing.
I don't know. I can't call that one because, like you said, there's too many storylines going on. Let's go with I don't know. You pick that one.
I'm gonna go Jax and Baszler. I don't think Asuka will go into Mania as a two belt holder. I think she'll go in with just the women's championship. I think it's
Oh,
time.
that changes it up. Well, you never know.
Yeah, and I could be wrong. Yeah, you could be right. So next match, the WWE Championship match. Someone I'm very pumped to see, and then someone who has no business being back on television. Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg.
Drew better squash him.
I,
Or I will never watch the programming ever.
I'm going Drew too, and I think it's going to be one of those
And
situations.
I'm friends with Goldberg, and that's the sad thing is like I'm actually cool with them. Like,
Yeah.
actually really cool with them. But come on, man. Like there's the time when you gotta let the kid shine and he deserves it. And
Well, and the rumor is this may happen. So, like, the point is they may take the belt off him here to put it back on him at Mania in Tampa in front of a crowd. Finally, McIntyre.
yeah, but that's the wrong person to take it up.
I'm
Take it off with
100%
someone
agree.
that to build a heel. Build someone so he has a feud later. Build someone so you can actually keep telling more storylines. Build someone that's going to be there long term so you can actually have a long term program and actually build. You can kill two birds with one stone, and you're creating another character that's going to draw you money in the future.
I
But
agree.
people don't like to book correctly, but
No,
ain't none of my business.
I agree. I'm with you. I want McIntyre to win. I think Goldberg will win. And I think it's dumb. Hopefully, the Miz gets somehow involved with the Money in the Bank briefcase. But that also makes me think too that if he doesn't win, Drew may get put into the Rumble at the end of the pit show, win that to get his match at Mania. But again, there's a couple different things that can happen in that Rumble match. Roman Reigns, title holder, Universal Champion, against Kevin Owens in a last man standing match. This is
Roman,
my prediction of match of the night right here.
Roman, all the way.
I think Reigns will win too. I'm hoping for Owens. I want to see him with some gold.
I'm going with Roman. That's my dog.
Yeah, I know he's your boy. I'm just an Owens guy though. Always have big. Chris, what's up, brother? It's been a while. Thank you for coming by.
Yeah.
Hope all's well, brother. And then we got the women's rumble, and here's who's confirmed for the rumble for the women: Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, Bayley, Bianca Belair, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Peyton Royce, Shayna Baszler, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, Tamina. 18
Jesus.
more to be in that match. Probably some surprises. Maybe a debut or two, maybe some NXTers. My pick is Alexa Bliss to win.
I really haven't been following any of that, so I can't.
That's fine. We're gonna just go with my pick on that one because
Actually, speaking of women's wrestling, and the fiance kind of just got out of bed. It looks like.
No,
no.
I'm getting ready to go to bed.
No, you're getting ready for dinner.
I am getting ready for dinner. I'm starting. Don't mind me. I am.
Sorry, our table is a little big.
That's all right. Oh, look at this girl. Are you wearing is that Stitch? Oh,
yes. He's my
I wish I
favorite.
had my Stitch shirt on right now. We would have matched.
He's your favorite? I thought I was your favorite.
You're my favorite.
Come on, you don't compare to
He's my
Stitch.
favorite cartoon.
Stitch is amazing.
We're like twisted.
What is up, Red?
What's up? Oh my god, I have such a glow with my glasses.
It's okay. People don't mind. I'm gonna one thing first is, first of all, you looked like the coolest badass ever last night.
Thanks.
I know. What about that? What about that strong language? How she?
Yeah.
I don't put it over too.
Yeah,
I mean, it was legit badass. Thanks, Chris. It just got to a point where, you know, I had been gotten attacked already. I got attacked. I got jumped. She, you know, Brandy got injured, and then
hit with the chair.
The nonstop jokes about the pregnancy, and through all these like sequence of events, no one had ever heard me say a word. So it was a nice moment that I was able to get out there and let her know how I felt about her ass, you know, and that I'm ready to stir her bitch ass up. I'm ready. I'm over it. I'm over the little kid games. I'm over the Twitter. And he needs a partner, so I gotta step up for my girl Brandy, you know.
I told him.
How did it feel going out there and cutting a promo with Arn, Cody?
Yeah, that's
knowing that this promo right here is the promo that's gonna
first promo.
Yeah,
I have to say too, Arn pumping you up before you came out.
Oh man, that was like the best moment. That was it was very humbling, you know, and it was an honor, you know, to have him talk about me that way, or even give me that type of introduction. Who am I, right?
You're the shit.
But it was a little nerve-wracking, but I was more angry than anything. So I was like kind of like tunnel vision, and that's all I was seeing was just getting my point across that I was over her shit. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. You know, I didn't really I could hear what was going on like prior to coming out, but like when my music hit, I was like, all right, like let's go. And when I grabbed the mic, like I was pissed. So
it was definitely a moment where watching it, I was like, because there was a cool pop when you came out and got on the mic, but I was like, oh, if that was a full crowd.
Oh my god, they would have went off, especially when, like, oh man, it would have been crazy. I forgot what I was gonna ask.
You don't kind of hear anything. I can there's a lot of people ringside, and I can hear certain people, but like when you're in that moment, like. The ring just feels so big and just the stadium. So I can imagine like if that was filled with thousands of people, like I would just makes it easier, but I might not have been able to like hear as much. I barely could. I just have tunnel vision, and when it happened, so I had one mission, and that was to get my point across and get it out in a good way. You know, there was a lot of talk of like. You know, what were people gonna think of me on the mic? It was my first time talking, you know. Was I gonna stutter? Was I gonna and I showed everybody that no, like why, you know, I had a point to say and I said it how I felt.
I think they were just
I can talk on
I think they were just trying to find a flaw, but they can't because your wrestling is so good.
Right.
And now that they know that you can cut a promo.
And it's not even like cut a promo because like I spoke from the heart.
Yes, I know.
You know,
because trust me, I hear it all the time. I know you're tired of Jade. I know you're like sick of everything she's been doing. So I'm ready to see you whip her ass too.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I told Wes like 2-3 weeks ago. I was like, man, I can.
Oh yeah, you see. You can't. She always is ready.
This is my next project.
Hell
So,
yeah. No, I
Hopefully,
told him weeks ago. I was like, I cannot wait to see her with a mic in her hand.
oh, it
And then-
was. I didn't think it'd come this quick, but just so much had happened. I was like, oh, this is gonna be easy. I get to tell her how much I dislike her on national television for everybody to see. I'm down. Let's do it.
yeah, when that segment came on last night, I don't know if you heard me before we went live. I was telling Wes that when it came on, like I knew where it was all going, but I still even like giggled like a schoolgirl when your music hit and was like, oh, I popped. In my
oh,
life.
that's a question I was going to ask you. So now, since you have your own interest music, how did you come up with the theme, and like what was the part? Because I never had my own interest music. Aces and Eights had their own interest music, but I never had personal interest music.
Yeah.
And now you have personal interest music. Like, how did that like come apart? And like, what was like the thinking of behind the song?
The song. Well, our music guy Ruckus was great. He was such a nice guy, such a pleasure, and so easy to work with. He came up to me and just let me know, like, hey, we're doing giving you some custom music, which is always great. And he just kind of was like, throw me everything that you want, like beats that you like, artists that you like, what you see yourself coming out to, like just be very specific. And I remember giving him like a couple songs that were my favorite, like Chris Brown, "Go Crazy." That's
Yeah.
Aubrey's
Yeah.
favorite song
That's
too.
Aubrey's favorite
It's Aubrey's
song.
favorite
Big
song.
shout out to Aubrey
Hey. So
and Roxy.
I said that song. My favorite artist right now is Kiana Lede. So I threw in a couple songs. I sent him. There was, what song was it that I sent him? E40. A bunch of songs. Oh, Tell Me When to Go by I said that. So Tell Me When to Go by E40, and he popped for that. So I just said I want something along these lines, but I want to make sure that I could dance to my own music. Like if I want to come up with choreography, and I want it to be a vibe. Like
right.
When I come out, people are singing to it, people are stirring up to it. I want people to get behind it. I told him Brandy's music is super catchy to me, and I love like Swole's music, and everyone gets behind it. I was like, I need that type of vibe because I'm a dancer. So if I can't dance to my music, I would have felt weird. But it turned out great. It's always great seeing like the other talent just jamming out to it, especially Sunny. He cracks me up.
Big shout out to Sunny.
Right.
I'm very impressed with his work and everything that he does in the ring and all that stuff. Like,
yeah, it's great.
Yeah, the talent that you got around you over there is no joke.
Oh, no joke. It's awesome. It's a big pool of just different personalities, and everyone wrestles so different. And the greatest part is that the locker room as a whole, we're just so strong. Like, you know, I've never been part of such a big family, even like how long I danced for, but that's like a huge family, and like everyone is just there for everyone, you know, when we need to be. So it's awesome. I love, it's like they say, like, you know, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. So
right.
And I get to watch her on TV. That's the coolest thing.
Till I start playing the matches like back like 4 or 5 times in the same time that it's playing. He's like, all right, next.
It's more like,
it's like 10 times. I'm very like
no, that's a good thing that she
yeah, I think very
sometimes.
early on I made sure to be comfortable critiquing myself and watching myself. Some people don't want to watch themselves, some people don't want to hear themselves. I'm not embarrassed. You are your biggest critique. So I learned that very early on with dance and everything. You got to watch back performances, because there's things that you might do that you don't notice you're doing and somebody else won't notice, and until you watch yourself you won't know. So yeah, every time a dark match comes out or a match, I will watch the whole thing, just kind of like, because you watch it first sight and then you start picking up and like breaking down little things that happen, like, well, you know, I moved my foot in this weird position, and like, oh my god, this person landed weird, like blah blah blah. Like in my last match, it was great, everything went great, but when we did the wheelbarrow bulldog, I thought I was gonna break my leg, and I wouldn't have noticed that. I had so much adrenaline running,
right?
And thank god nothing happened, but it's just I nitpick at like everything. But it was great. It was awesome wrestling Maddie. So
that's interesting that you say that, because I was a late bloomer. Like my teenage years, high school, I was very quiet, shy, didn't want to be center of attention. And then just one day I was like, I want to be on radio. guess I'm gonna have to get over that. But then once in radio, I got over the being in front of people. But then it was the critiquing when I had to go sit with my program director
Yep.
and listen back to my shifts and be like, so you say a lot, or you say what's going on every time you turn them, and it's just like, ugh. And it took like the first 2 years for me to finally get to be like, okay, I can listen and watch myself now.
Yeah, and then it's awesome because I think you learn how to develop more as a person. No one can tell me how to be Red Velvet better than I can tell myself how to be Red Velvet. So,
or you can think that maybe you did think your punches look good, but then really,
but they don't.
yeah,
You
it's
know,
just little
I'm
things
very
that you
like
can
I'm
catch
very
on.
open to criticism and stuff like that.
I'm not saying that her punches look great. I'm just saying overall.
No, but
It was pretty dope.
So-
I don't know what you're talking about.
no, I don't.
You want to show one right now? He's right there. You can do it.
No, he makes food, so
Right, need him for dinner.
I need him just so I can have
That-
dinner. He
that's
made
very-
awesome tacos the other day.
I saw the picture. I was very
So
jealous.
good. So
I know.
I have to give it to him. Up until I met him, well, not even, just kidding. Sorry. My mom is the best cook that I know.
She is.
She is the best cook. So I never thought I would find someone that can top my mom's cooking. He is right there. They cook completely different, but I'm a very picky person. So the other day, not the other day, a while back when I first met him, he loves peppers. And I was just like
bell peppers.
Yeah, like bell peppers. And I was like, I'm not really a fan of those. And he's like, I bet you that I can make them a certain way that you will eat them like how they are without any type of food. I'm like, no way. So I'm not going to give up his recipe. He mixed and stuff like that. I don't know if he wants it to be a secret.
Yes.
Okay, so he mixed and threw and all this stuff, and then he's like, here, try this. And I tried the peppers and asked him. He was doing like taco night on Tuesday, and I could not get my hands off the peppers. And I was like,
I had to tell her to stop.
He was like, I need you to stop. Like, I need you.
They were all gonna be gone.
Yeah, they were. But he makes it in such a way that I'm like, I can literally grab a bowl of like the different peppers and just eat them like that. And I would have never, that steak, I was like, I don't know why, after I had knee surgery, I feel like a pregnancy. After I had knee surgery, like I was disgusted by steak. I couldn't like smell it. I don't know what it was. And I used to love steak and my mom used to make it all the time. But after knee surgery, I don't know what it was. I just could not.
No rhyme or reason, not just after the surgery, just like no steak.
Yeah, I just could not. I don't know. I would like smell it and I'd get nauseous and stuff like that. I was like, wow, this is really weird. So then I was just like chicken and fish and lobster and crab. And then he was like, oh, you're going to have to start trying steak again, if you want to like get bigger and stuff like that. And now ask him, how many times do we eat steak?
And one of the coolest things is when we were first dating, I took her tuna fishing. And she caught her first tuna, and I actually cut it up.
Story to
I know, because
I don't see what the big deal was.
I don't think you don't realize how many people don't go out there and
I was lucky I didn't get pulled out of the boat. That's what I was happy about. But it's such a big achievement, I guess.
It is like that.
Yeah, it is.
Fish, like people don't normally catch it. It's a hard fish to catch. You have to go out in the middle of the ocean. It's not like an inshore fish. You literally have to go miles and miles. It was a 4-hour boat ride to get to where we were actually fishing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, it's definitely, I'm from the Midwest. We're all just lakes and rivers fishing. But when people up here start talking about going deep sea fishing, it's like, oh, I'm going to catch a tuna. I'm going to catch it. Like, it's a big deal.
Nice tuna, too.
Yeah. And it was great. They made like tuna tacos.
Yeah,
so good. And I wasn't that big of a fish person either until I met him. I ate like
raw tuna.
Raw tuna. You cannot get me to eat that. It was gross. It was disgusting. Now, any type of restaurant that's like seafood, I go looking around to see if they have that as an appetizer. I love raw tuna now. So I mean, he taught me a good lesson. He said, which I take this very and I value it now. He says it doesn't hurt to try something. If you don't like it, you can always spit it out.
Right.
It's true.
And it's true. And look, I've just learned how to eat so many things.
Because I learned that experience from traveling. And when you're in another country, and sometimes the food might not always look appealing, but you got to give it a try because you might be in another country and that's all you got. It might actually be good, but you're just going off of sight. And sometimes sight can play a trick on you.
Even smell can play a trick on you. Because like we went to a restaurant and then I tried mussels. Mussels. It was like mussels with like white wine and garlic and it was great. And I originally would not eat it. It just
So,
Like-
okay, let me ask you guys this then, both of you. What is the weirdest thing you've eaten?
Weird, I would just have to say an ant. There was
most
like this huge ant that my aunt fed me in Colombia. It was so weird. She's like, "Oh, try it," but it tasted like, you know how like ants look like they're two little bubbles,
Yeah.
you know, and then they have their little, like I bit into like maybe the back part, and it just tasted like popcorn. It was weird.
That is weird.
Yeah, I was like, "Is this you guys' popcorn?" Like, I don't know. It was weird. I think that's the weirdest. Right.
Wes?
He was trying to
Where
get
do
me
you
to
want to
eat like
start?
he wanted me to eat deer the other day.
Deer? Oh, come on.
Deer?
I'm in Minnesota. That's like
Deer's
you get
No,
delicious.
I said if he
Deer's
ever,
delicious.
and then he said he wouldn't tell me. I said if you make me eat a Bambi and you don't tell me,
yes.
that might be the reason for a divorce.
It's
Boy.
delicious.
Okay.
Deer meat's really good.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, venison. That's high stock up here in Minnesota. When my brother was a little kid, my dad went hunting on the East Coast, and when he came home with the deer, that was my brother's exact words. Was he started crying. He's like, "You killed
I'm too emotional for that. I rather like. I mean, I love food too much to go vegan or vegetarian. Nothing to anyone who's like that. I would have probably been vegan, but I just like if I don't see the food, like the animal before, like if it's killed in front of me, I'm not gonna eat it. Like when I was younger and like Latins love to cook like the pork, right? I wouldn't have ate it. You know, if I see it, I won't eat it. That's why I don't think I could ever try frog legs because I saw this like it's not a meme or GIF, but like a video on Instagram where someone went to like a store that had everything laid out, like fish and everything, and it was frogs, and the frog was still moving. Oh my god! Oh,
I've seen snake that way.
Oh, don't say that. You know that's that. No,
I've seen you. You can't ask me because I've been to pretty much every country, so I've seen everything, and I've tried.
What's the weirdest?
There's got to be one.
Yeah.
I've tried brains.
I've tried the one thing I
blood soup.
That's why I can't go on Fear
I
Factor.
can keep going more and more. I've tried everything. I mean,
that's disgusting.
Like you want the most weirdest animal?
Yeah.
I tried liver. I've tried heart. I've tried tongue.
I think I should take him to a challenge where we have to eat and only one of us has to eat. We might win some money. We should have done Fear Factor.
No, I don't.
They ate coagulated blood balls one time.
Yeah, but see, those are like I don't want to be this was not forced upon me. This is all stuff that I chose to take. And like I'm not.
Well, you can choose to take it for a lot of money.
I don't want to do that for a lot of money. I don't. That's not me. I'm not scared to try something.
Yeah.
Fear Factor, you gotta swallow it. If instantly whatever tastes nasty, I just spit it on my napkin and I put it away. Like
right.
You know, like because you never know that could be someone's delicacy or like you just I don't know. I've tried a lot of weird stuff.
That's how I've done like weird things. Is like my friends. Oh, hey, it's our thing. We eat chicken feet. Try it. No, I'm cool. That's like the legit claw off the chicken. Like it looks like you just cut it off. Like no, but try it. It wasn't bad. And then cow tongue, just because I'm
cow tongue is actually really good. It's sliced really thin. It's really, really good.
Yeah, I'm half Mexican, so that's like the tongue. You can't get me to try that. You just can't think about it. That's the thing. When I eat the lengua, you just can't think of what it is. Just enjoy that it tastes good.
Yeah, or oxtail.
Yeah,
oxtail's good.
No, thanks.
No. But
all right, you guys realize you should just open up like a restaurant. You got.
I always told him, but he doesn't. He says he doesn't want to be like a slave to the kitchen. Not like it sounds in a bad way. Like if he says he doesn't want to be a slave to the kitchen for other people, he wants to do it. He does it because he loves it, and he wouldn't mind doing it for all our children.
I wouldn't want to cook the same meal over and over again. Would drive me insane. I would have to do something like every day the menu would be different. I'm so ADD that like I could not. I'd be like, I'm not cooking all that. I'm changing this. I'll be like, I'm gonna do this way. You know,
that'd be the beauty if you had your own place, though. You can literally go to the farmer's market and be like, you know what, this is today's special. This is what we're doing today.
I could, or I could just cook for my family and my friends.
Yeah, no, you could do that too.
Just make my close ones happy.
There you go. Yeah, some people ask some questions about AEW Dynamite and what's going on last night, but what I want to ask is seems all signs are pointing to this is going to happen at a pay-per-view coming up. And my question is, how does it feel to be like you may be going into I'm assuming your very first pay-per-view?
Well, yeah, hopefully they accept, because all she knows how to do is roll her Twitter fingers on Twitter. So hopefully she steps up to the challenge, and if it ends up falling at Revolution, then it'll be great. It'll be a great moment to have. I gotta make sure if it does happen on that day to live in the moment. I am very, and I want to be able to soak up that present moment. If it does fall on that day, if it falls on any other day, I'm still gonna beat that ass. So
I think you should always be prepared.
I'm always prepared. I'm always prepared. I've been prepared from the moment I kicked the door down, and I hoped it hit her, but she wasn't close enough. Sadly, Rebel was.
By the way, when that happened, I laughed my ass off. When I saw Rebel go flying and the door just popped open and you came back in,
I was like,
yeah, I mean,
it was so funny.
I've been ready. She really knows how to try to get under my skin on Twitter, but then again, it's just Twitter. She's not been doing a lot of talking in the ring. I have yet to see her do any wrestling. So we'll see. She wants to talk, so she better put her money where her mouth is, and she got so much of it.
Right. Yeah, and there's a lot of potential things with that match when it can finally happen, because we haven't seen her wrestle much, and Shaquille O'Neal wrestling, we haven't seen that much either. So very very marquee match, and I couldn't be happier for you. I really couldn't.
Thank you.
I don't know why that popped back up. Sorry. Wes, before we end the show, just what could you tell her, because you've been in that similar situation? You had a big cage match with Kurt Angle. That was a pay-per-view match, and that was a very great moment. So like, what could you tell Red as she's going to possibly begin to prepare for this big match?
Well, Red's been pretty much taking care of herself. She knows what she's doing, and I just kind of been being her emotional support. I don't tell her anything of like what to do.
He just says not to let the internet get to me.
Yeah, I just have her back. I have when she needs someone to give her some motivation, and I've been helping her out the gym, and we've been training really hard, and just kind of just being supportive, and just being, the supportive husband, and just watching his fiance go out there and become the superstar that she's becoming. And it's a beautiful thing, and it's cool for me to sit back and just see how proud I am of her, and see everything that she's accomplished on her own, with her hard work, and everything that she has accomplished is just mind-blowing, and it just makes me proud. And I just sit back and I just watch, and I'm just
I watched the matches then 10 times. He's like, all right, let's watch. Yesterday, it was so bad how many times I went back to watch the match for just like commentary, everything. He was like, all right, let's watch Team Mom. That's how you know it's bad. He's like, put on Team Mom. I'm like, oh, man.
Oh, that's great. That is awesome. No, well, like I said, it was, it's very cool. Seeing Twitter last night while watching Dynamite and seeing the response.
That was trending.
You were trending, which is amazing. And on top of that, the response of just in the Dynamite thread of so many fans being like, finally, she is a star. This needs to happen.
Yeah, she is.
It's time.
Yeah, I'm going to show people like it's not about my size. It's not about who you think I look like. It's about me coming out and showing you guys what I've worked so hard for, my craft, and there will be the people who are all up for the revolution, and then, people who are not for it. But either way, they're tuning in. So
right.
Thank you to all of them.
Hell yeah. And I can't thank you enough for being on here wearing the Stitch hoodie, because
of course,
sick. Love it. Plug whatever you want to plug, Red. What do you got going on? Where can people find you? All that.
You guys can find me on my social media. Instagram is LA_Red Velvet. I had to change it. _Red_Velvet is Twitter. You guys can see some of my old matches on YouTube. Book me on Cameo. Valentine's Day is coming. So if you want me to get your significant other a little message or break up with them on Valentine's Day, we can do that. What else? I think that's about it. And make sure you guys follow the Brisco and Big Ace podcast.
Definitely. Wes, you got anything coming up you want to plug?
No.
No? Awesome. Yeah, I don't have anything either. Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. YouTube, 7 p.m. Central, the 2 Count, me, comedian John Russell. We get very nerdy on wrestling. Join us for that. We just did a really cool episode with our favorite Rumbles. I don't know what your guys' favorite Rumbles are, if you even have one, but mine was 92. Flair winning it all and getting the belt, and Bobby Heenan gold on commentary throughout that match as a Flair boy. It was great.
That's
but yeah,
a hard one.
it really, and actually we didn't get to the men's Rumble. So sorry if we skipped that one, guys. My opinion is the Fiend's coming. He's going to win it if anybody's wondering. But yeah, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Brisco and Big Ace Show. We're on there. You can find all of our past stuff, audio exclusive versions on the VOC Radio Nation. Shout out to them. Check out all the great content they got going on as well. Yeah, stir it up. It's going to go down. Watch Dynamite every Wednesday night, Dark every Tuesday night, and make sure you're supporting our girl Red. And we'll be back. I got a vacation coming up in Vegas, so we're going to probably try to drop one more show next week since we won't the following week, because I'm going to be just doing crazy things and somewhat shut down Vegas.
Sin City.
Yeah, my crazy things is I'm just going to eat a bunch of food.
Me too. That would totally be me.
We're about to go eat a bunch of food right now.
Yeah.
Right. All right, guys. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you guys next week for another Brisco and Big Ace show. See you.